All right, good morning, everyone. We are going to get started with today's webinar. Thank you so much for spending your time with us this morning and joining us to learn more about leak detection and mitigating one of the leading causes of business downtime. So this morning we are joined by Jennifer Beliveau. She's our Business Development Manager here at RLE. She has more than 20 years of working in the data center, mission critical, HVAC, built environment, and banking industries. Jen leverages her extensive experience in the IT and data center industry, as well as her product application and airflow knowledge to craft the right solution for each unique facility. We're super excited to have you here with us, Jen. So why don't you go ahead? I'll hand it over to you.
But first, let's have some fun. So as we all know, it's unfortunate that shows and conferences were canceled this year, and we just wanted to share a little fun with you. These are some of the stickers that we plan to pass out at some of the live events we were going to be at, and we certainly look forward to handing them out in person to you soon. So we hope that you enjoy them as much as we do. A little about RLE Technologies for those of you that aren't familiar with us. Our mission statement is to exist to prevent disasters, preserve our clients' reputation, and provide peace of mind. We're coming up on 37 years in business next month. We're headquartered, and almost all of our manufacturing is in nearby Fort Collins, Colorado. We're trusted and recognized globally as a leader in the facilities monitoring and leak detection markets. And can you believe over 19 million feet of our patented leak detection cable is installed worldwide? That's something we're really, really pleased about. So all buildings, including data centers, need protection against water leaks. When you take a closer look at the most common issues experienced in data centers, according to a survey, this was actually performed by Emerson, now Vertiv, back a few years ago. Can you believe that water-related events make up for almost 20% of these issues? So again, that's a significant number there. RLE's SeaHawk leak detection products will immediately notify you of any water leaks. Let's look at the leading causes of building downtime. So, again, we put this chart together for you. Water damage is at 27%, right up there with power outage. So again, all about timely, direct alarm notification when a water leak occurs. Let's look at some of these images here. Buildings rely on water as long as it can be safely contained in pipes, sinks, drains, etc. Water quickly becomes the enemy if it goes where it shouldn't, resulting in so much damage, as you can only imagine from some of these pictures. Unfortunately, plumbing leaks are pretty common. What's more, not all leaks are obvious. In fact, they can be awfully insidious, making it crucial to prevent them and repair as soon as possible. So look around throughout your buildings. Do you know where your sources of leaks are? Unfortunately, most of us here at RLE, we hear about these leaks from our now customers after the leak has occurred. So some sources to watch for are those water supply and return lines, including the pipes, the couplings and fittings, the valves, the air conditioning units, chillers, plumbing fixtures, clogged drains, storage tanks, as well as building construction issues. So again, all these sources you want to be keeping in mind as you walk throughout your building. Common applications for leak detection are in data centers under the raised floor, where water-cooled solutions introduce water to areas that are most sensitive to leaks. As we talked about on the last slide, newly constructed buildings are also designed with raised floors. Sometimes they're not data centers, but they're just general purpose office spaces to simplify construction and allow for future design changes. What once might be intended to be purposed as a data center is now, again, could be a cafeteria break room space, a gaming room for employees, and the like. Again, just general office space. So we also see our sensing cable installed above drop ceilings. So again, look up, consider a roof leak, visualize, all that water that's accumulated and pooled to cause the entire ceiling to collapse. Just a complete mess waiting to happen. We've seen affixing sensing cable to water supply and return lines, in the drip pans, around the perimeter of the rooms. Basically, you just want to be thinking about protecting anything that may be damaged by a water leak. And did you know that most insurance companies will offer incentives and discounts for having leak detection products installed? And ironically, within the last month, I just finished working with an insurance company headquartered on the East Coast that one of the employees happened to walk in and to 5 inches of water on the floor, they had a water line bust. So again, none of us are immune from leaks, and unfortunately, these leaks do occur. Typically, when we're not in the office and we don't always visually see or hear the water. So again, very, very important. They are installing our wireless leak detection system, which I'm going to talk to you about in a few slides, and their sensors. The leak detection sensors are on their way, and they're going to be installed immediately. So again, hopefully no more walking into 5 inches of water on the floor. Let's talk about the effects and costs of downtime. There are some serious hard costs, for repairs, employee productivity, and morale decreases. Then there's the redirection of efforts towards recovery. So in some cases, water creates a lot of damage. There could be mold remediation needed and remodeling, right? If it's hit the drywall or carpet or flooring, you've got to remodel and replace that material. An organized reputation, it can also be at stake. So again, very important. And we pulled the source, IT Performance Engineering and Measurement Strategies. They put out some scary industry hourly downtime in U.S. dollars costs that we wanted to share with you. Again, for those of you that are on the line with us and employed in any of these industries that we're showing, you got to ask yourself, is your building or buildings currently protected from water leaks? And is your organization financially prepared to spend the dollars? Look at these dollars in millions hourly associated with the downtime due to an unexpected water leak and lack of a leak detection system. So again, look at these numbers. By now, for those of you that don't have a leak detection system installed, you should be seriously, considering having one. And, we know it can be a challenge to get started and just overwhelming. And, there's a lot to think about protecting. So we've, talked about identifying the threats. We've talked about the sources. We've talked about common applications. So to help you with this, you can see here on the slide, we've put together a leak risk mitigation checklist to get you started. So this checklist can be found on our website, rletech.com, or, give us a call. You can call us or send us an email, and myself or my colleagues would be happy to help you put this together and get you started. Once you determine what it is that you need and want to protect, you can deploy spot detectors. So as you see here, they're used to detect conductive fluids in confined areas, such as drip pans, in floor drains, or you can use sensing cable that can be laid out around the room perimeters or affixed to water and supply pipes, or you can do a combination of both. So we have 4 different types of spot detectors. The SD-RO1 has a relay output, and it can be used with products that accept a dry contact input. So for this particular spot detector, you don't need a RLE controller. And with the SDZ and the SDZ1 and the SD, those 3 are all compatible with certain RLE leak detection controllers and also some of our facility monitoring products. So there's a nice crossover by having both monitoring, and leak detection products in place. At the bottom, we offer the 3 different types of sensing cable. So our orange is our conductive fluids. We're looking at water, glycol. The green is our chemical sensing cable, looking at acids and bases. And then the gray is our low smoke, zero halogen. And some of the applications would be in subways or underground parking garages. So we have a nice mix of ways to protect your facility. Along with spot detectors and or sensing cable, which again, that's what's going to detect the leak, you will need a leak detection controller to notify you of the leak. So our controllers, they can operate as standalone devices, or they can tie seamlessly into an existing building automation or network management system. The communication protocols that are available for some of our controllers are SNMP, BACnet, and Modbus. And we do have a product matrix available to help you choose a controller that's best suited for your application. So again, as you're putting together what it is that you want to protect and identify if you're going to be using spot detectors or sensing cable or a combination of both, we can also help you identify based on maybe how much footage you need of coverage or what kind of combination of material that you want. We can help identify the best suited controller for you and determine if you want it to stand alone or tie into your building network or building automation system. So let's take a look. The zone controllers will protect smaller areas and identify that fluid has been in contact with the spot detector and or sensing cable. And we offer single zone, 3 zone, and up to 6 zone controllers. So the distance read controllers that you see at the bottom, they're ideal for protecting larger spaces. And they'll identify, specifically pinpoint, where along the length of the sensing cable or at which spot detector the leak has occurred. So again, very detailed information. Very, very helpful in getting to the leak quickly, especially in large facilities. So those are the different types of controllers we offer. So before I jump into the next slide, I just want to stress seconds matter. So again, we're going to look at our leak detection in action. You're going to know when as little as a dropper full of water touches the cable or hits the spot detector. Our patented sensing cable design assures for fast response time, notifying the right people within seconds of a detected leak. So we're going to take a look. Pretty fascinating stuff, isn't it? See, immediate notifications. Some of our zone, distance read, and wireless controllers come with a web interface, such as our LD2100 distance read controller that I'm showing on this slide. Any device that can connect to a web browser can see the alarm status. So here we're seeing a leak in red detected at 352 feet with a location that you can label specific to your facility, such as Zone 12, Southeast Corner. And with the LD2100 controller, you can upload up to 2 floor maps. So you can see floor map number 1, floor map number 2, one of which of those maps can be populated with interactive leak detection data. So you're going to get a real-time view of your facility and a visual indication of any active alarms, as we're going to see on the next slide. here's a detailed look of the interactive map. You upload your created map, and you can designate coordinates over the top of the map image. So the location, if a leak were to occur, is going to display as a red square. As you see here, it's flashing, and you can see the leak has occurred at 827 feet. Again, can't stress enough how important it is. If you have a larger facility, nobody wants to get on the scene and not be able to detect where the leak is. Also, with the interface of the LD2100, you can configure settings for instant email or text notification. So you select the LAN setting to send alerts through a local network connection. And again, you can have up to 4 email recipients or distribution lists, or again, a combination of both. The recipient can receive email or text notification as shown. So the image on the right here, I had entered my email address and cell phone number with my carrier information. And the image on the right, again, if you look at it, is an example of the alarm text notification that I received on my cell phone when I had run a test alarm from RLE's network room in Colorado. And when you click on the HTTP link that is in the text, it will take you to that interactive map where you can see the actual location of the leak that I had shown you in the previous slide. So a few slides back, I had mentioned to you that, unfortunately, the insurance company on the East Coast did have a water disaster situation come up, and they are deploying our WING, our wireless network gateway controller, and the WING leak detection sensors. So another great way to monitor your facility if you are looking to go wireless. So the wireless leak detection sensor that you see on the screen here, it can be coupled with our sensing cable, and you can have up to 100 feet of sensing cable, or you can use an SDZ or an SDZ1 spot detector to detect your leaks. So again, deploying the WING Manager, the intent is to simplify installation. There's a lot of older buildings out there. It eliminates the need to run more wires. The sensors themselves are compact, and they have a battery life of 8 to 12 years, so quite significant. It's a AA 3.6 volt lithium battery that is included with the sensor. Amazing transmission distances, up to 1,600 feet, 600 feet of that direct line of sight from the sensor to the WING Manager controller. And as I mentioned before, the leak detection sensor will accommodate up to 100 feet of sensing cable or 2 spot detectors, and the WING spot includes the LD sensor and the SDZ1 spot detector. So again, you've got some flexibility on what it is that you want to protect. WING is very, very popular in our data centers, multi-story office buildings. Think of, like doctor suites, those exam rooms. There's sinks, right? If there's like cafeteria spaces or break room areas with sinks and kitchen areas and restrooms, museums, older buildings, again, where there might be some wiring challenges, WING just allows for a real nice, clean installation. So I just wanted to share with you some more images of disaster situations that we see and walk into. And as I mentioned before, not all leaks are plumbing leaks. So sometimes, water can come from a leak in the roof or around a window. And I did happen to have another customer earlier this year that had a sprinkler system activate on the 4th floor. His building is old, and he discovered that, over the years, the floors are, just really in rough shape. And he actually referred to them as Swiss cheese. So if you think of just like holes and deteriorating, and every building is unique. So, again, what do you prefer? Do you want to be proactive and get ahead of the game by having a reliable leak detection system installed, or do you want to be reactive and have to deal with any type of downtime and remodeling costs that could be associated with a lot of the damage that's there? So again, it's important look at the damage shown here. Understand your concerns and your threats. And again, peace of mind that we talk about is only achieved by awareness. So look around for broken seals, clogged lines, corrosion, damaged pipe joints, loose water connectors, and fixture cracks as well. So unfortunately, most everyone has experienced a leak resulting in damage or downtime, and don't let it be you. So just keeping along some of the success stories. I always like, sharing the good news, right? Who wants to be the bearer of bad news? Let's share some good news. So we're going to talk a little bit first about University of Northern Colorado. Marcus McCutcheon, he's their director of the University of Northern Colorado IT Telephone Services Department. He had 2 vulnerable yet critical locations. The first site was the telephone systems room, which is the nexus for all the phone services on campus, and go figure, it is located in the basement. So McCutcheon was able to identify potential sources of water both above and below his equipment. The second room that he needed to protect was his computing control center. Heartbeat of the campus, it's encompassing all critical data working, servers, IT services, and the most critical threat in that particular room was the water pipes that were hidden in the drop ceiling. And since they feed water-cooled, the water-cooled air conditioning system, they're constantly transporting water all of the time. And of course, they hang suspended above the servers, which is the networking equipment. You can imagine if a leak were to occur, what a disaster that would be. So once the RLE SeaHawk leak detection system was installed, it was fully operational. Go figure, a leak occurred in the telephone switch room. The RLE system detected the water, and of course, as you saw earlier, the controller issued an alert. McCutcheon checked the area above the drop ceiling, and he did notice some dampness on the cable and on one of the ceiling tiles. He notified the campus plumbers, who at that time couldn't identify an immediate leak. So ultimately, they determined that there was a crack in the floor sink in the custodian's closet, which was causing that leak. And go figure, it was right above the long distance recording equipment area. So again, caught in enough time to detect and see. And then Trammell Crow Company, they provide commercial property and facilities management services. They had signed an agreement with American Express to provide facilities management and project management and other related services work for them. Andy Honeycutt is one of the engineers in Trammell Crow's Facilities Management Services Group to the American Express Operations Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. That operation houses more than 3,000 employees, okay? So big operation, and it provides back office support for the credit card processing for the entire East Coast. Honeycutt and his team, they were responsible for ensuring continuous operation of the 450,000 square foot facility. So remember earlier when we were talking about distance read or zone control, creating an architecture of RLE, SeaHawk, or facilities monitoring products can handle buildings of that size. So I just want to stress, we're talking about leak detection in a 450,000 square foot facility that is operating 24/7, 365 days a year. So their leak detection system that they had in place, it was really in need of an upgrade, and it could not support the facility expansion that they were going through, and it also created a high incidence of false alarms. So often customers will come, for those that have existing systems, over to RLE as a result of receiving faulty alarms from a previous leak detection system. So that's another true benefit and pro of moving over to an RLE leak detection system. So Honeycutt's team deployed over 1,250 feet of SeaHawk sensing cable to protect the mission critical servers and phone switches within those technology spaces. So our solution helped them save on labor costs by eliminating the need to add personnel for that 24/7 man-hour coverage, when we're talking about downtime and the effects. So by being able to eliminate that added personnel, you can imagine the thousands of dollars saved there. And the cabling system, we were able to provide proactive monitoring and notification with equivalent level of protection at a much lower cost. So again, we're very economical in getting started as well. So just wanted to highlight those for you as well. And now I believe that we're ready to take some questions.
We are ready, Jen. We do have a few questions for you. The first one was asking if you could touch on some differences between some of our leak detection controllers, like the F200 versus the LD2100. For all of you who are visual learners like I am, I put the link to our leak detection controller product matrix in the chat. So you can click on that and you can kind of visualize what this looks like as Jen talks through how some of our controllers differ from one another.
Awesome. So excellent question. And Jenny, that was a great idea to put that matrix out there. So the F200 actually serves as a leak detection device as well as a facilities monitoring device. So I mentioned there's a little bit of crossover there. It is considered a one-zone controller. So you can have up to 200 feet of our sensing cable or up to 4 spot detectors. It's going to communicate via Modbus or SNMP, but if you think of an F200 in a network closet, maybe a small MDF or IDF room, smaller scale application, you can also tie, in addition to leak detection, some additional monitoring. There may be IP cameras in the space. You may want to monitor some environmental conditions such as temp only or temp and humidity, so it allows for that. We also, it'll accept 8 digital dry contact inputs, and it has 1 relay output function. So it's nice when you're remote being able to turn something on or turn something off. So the nice thing about the F200 is that it will cross over. And then, Jenny, what was the other, compared to the LD2100? Is that what we're?
Correct. Yes,
okay,
2100.
Yeah. And then the 2100 is the distance read controller. So where the F200 is not going to specifically tell you where that leak in the cable is, the LD2100 is a more comprehensive solution. It's going to tie, it's leak detection specific, so it can stand alone or tie into a larger building automation or network management system. So the LD2100 is not, going to do the additional facilities end of monitoring that the F200 would.
Excellent. Thanks, Jen. We have another one. Do we currently have a solution to detect a diesel leak in pipes from generators?
So depending, if you're looking like for, whenever we hear about for generators, most often we get, can your sensing cable detect fuel, hydrocarbon? So the answer to that is no, if that's what we're asking. Is there a little bit more detail with that question? Because most often with generator related.
That's the question. They're looking for leaks in diesel pipes, and we get that question all the time. And
yeah, so unfortunately not at this time, but hey, we all have wish lists and hope lists, so you never know what the future is going to bring.
Yep, and that product is currently we're doing R&D and some research to see if we can make that happen. All right, Jen, you got 2 more questions queued up. Folks, if you have any other ones you'd like to ask, please put them in the group chat for us. Can you talk a little bit about how to clean our leak detection cables when they get dirty?
Yes. So, and we recommend that. It is very important, just like anything, you want to take care of it. So even if sometimes it's not visibly dirty, we always say, try to, take care of it because it's significant and it's important. So we just suggest cleaning it with Dawn. Dish soap seems to be a preference, as well as some rubbing alcohol. So you're not going to need any special cleaners or any particular system required to clean it. We just would recommend, just like anything else you service, go ahead and wipe it down every so often. And even, I always say, take it a step further and make sure you're testing the system, because you do want to make sure that if an alarm were to go off, it's going to work. So maybe if you're scheduling an annual or semi-annual cleaning, testing of your system, clean it as well. So great question, but easy to clean.
Jen, can you talk a little bit about our product warranty?
Yes. So one of probably my favorite tie-in questions, because we do offer all of our customers a 2-year end-user warranty. So again, if something's not right, our process typically is to reach out to our tech support to try to troubleshoot. If they do deem that it could be a defect, we ask you to send it back. We replace it within the 2 years. But the other piece that I really want to stress upon is our DPPM number. So it's our defective parts per million. I've been with RLE now for about 3.5 years, and I am so proud to work for a manufacturer that last year our defective parts per million number was 31. The year before that was 12. I think the highest we've been since we've been tracking this in many years is 45. So again, warranty working with us, you are working with a company that takes great pride in producing quality product in a good amount of time. So very seldomly, I would say myself and my colleagues, do we see a lot of product coming back. We stand behind it 100%.
Jenna, it looks like you've addressed all the questions, so thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, again, let us help you. The RLE Tech website, we've got some new tips and tricks. There's, videos on how to design a leak detection system. We love it if you call us. We like to help. The leak detection controller matrix Jenny had put in the chat section. It's also on the website. We've got some live demos. We actually put our products from Fort Collins, their live demos, on the site so you can get in there. The leak mitigation checklist is there, and again, more. Anything that you'd possibly want to find is right there at your fingertips on the website. I also just want to say we offer services. So we've got a great team at RLE that will do startup and commissioning and also training, again, by our technicians. So we'll come out and do that. A lot of times, your time is limited, or again, first time, you want to be able to gain knowledge as you go. So we've got a really good team of technicians here, and we would love to be able to get you up and running as well. So with that being said, we wish you the best for the remainder of 2020. Thank you for attending, and enjoy the holiday season and be safe and well.